Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation. Damn, that's a long ass name. Hey lovelies, welcome back to another Foundation Friday. Of course, because Rihanna's makeup line, Fenty Beauty, just launched last Friday, it's only right that this Friday I review the foundation. So Fenty Beauty just launched the Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation in 40 different shades. Yes ma'am, yes God, 40 different shades. She did that. I really hope that her line just focuses on skin products because that's where they seem to be killing it at. Everybody's saying like, oh, I wanted some eyeshadows or some bomb lipsticks. No, I like the fact that their widest variety product is foundations, so I hope that that's where they stay and they just keep fucking the game up with these foundations. I got a sample of the primer, and the thing about this primer is that it's so hydrating and like not matte. I mean, I get it, the foundation is matte, but the primer is just like really creamy and hydrating. I personally can't fuck with that. My skin is just very naturally oily, so anything other than a matte primer won't do anything for me. I don't care how matte the foundation actually is. If it's also not a matte primer, then I can't do anything with it. Now I know sometimes people say if you over mattify yourself then your skin produces too much oil. Yeah, no, that's not the case with me. Sorry, I'm just oily all year round. It doesn't matter the conditions, I'm just always gonna be oily. So that's why I tend to mattify my face as best as I can while I do these foundation wear tests, just to give the foundation a fighting chance. So to start off, I'm gonna mattify my face with my Holy Grail primer, the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Perfecting Primer. I was wearing this foundation in my Fenty Beauty haul. I was also wearing the primer that comes with it, and I was so dewy. Like, the dewy look is cute, but for me, I just don't like how the dewy looks on camera and in pictures. But in person, the dewy look is not bad, but I'll insert a clip here where you can see it. I just wasn't feeling the dewy look, so I was like, all right, I know that the primer that I'm using right now is not a matte primer, so let me just go ahead and give this foundation a fighting chance by using a matte primer. And since I am gonna be running errands, so I'm just gonna go ahead and set my primer with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. So now that my face is good and matte, I'm gonna apply my foundation. This foundation is pretty freaking liquidy. You see it dripping and shit. This is a medium coverage foundation, so I'm not going to build it up to full. Another thing about the foundation is that it goes on a little lighter or warmer than you think it is, and then after a few minutes or so, once it finally sets, then it dries down. So it may be looking a little scary right now, but once it dries down, it's cool. And of course, with my Foundation Fridays, I do not color correct just to see how the foundation performs on its own. I'm not even done blending it, and you can already see how matte this is. If my foundation is blending well with the brush, then I usually don't use a sponge to continue blending it out. I did buy the Fenty Beauty sponge. I am gonna blend my under eye highlight with this sponge. And using the Matchstick Trios. The Matchstick Trios give a really subtle highlight. I really like this sponge because it is getting up where I need it to go. As you can see, the Matchstick Trio doesn't really conceal much, so I personally wouldn't recommend it. If you really want a concealer, then just get a concealer. But I do like the highlight and the contour that came with it. One of these is already $25. The trio was $54, so it kind of evens itself out. Alright, Alright, so here's my finished face. We're just going for a really natural, casual look today. I did apply the Ginger Binge highlight as a blush, and then I went over it a little bit with the Moscow Mule. And then the lip gloss I'm wearing is 9 to 5 by Colorpop. This is not the Rihanna Gloss Bomb, but I did want to get a gloss that kind of like resembled that, just to stay in the Fenty Beauty spirit, I guess. So now the time is 4:54 p.m. I'll come back in about 5 or 6 hours to let you guys know how it holds up with a matte primer. I already know how it held up with the Pro Filt'r primer. My face was matte for the most part, but I think that I could have got more mattiness out of it had I used an all matte primer. So that's the primer I have on now. So we're just gonna give it about 5-6 hours just to see how it holds up, and then I will come back, blot, and give you my final thoughts. Okay, so I just wanted to show y'all really quick. I'm in my dirty ass car. Okay, here's what the foundation looks like in natural sunlight, and there's the highlight. It's an excellent color match, and it's still really matte. I'm really liking how matte it stayed, but it has only been about 45 or so minutes. As soon as I got done recording the video, I left the house, so it's only been about an hour since I've had this foundation on, and I'm still fairly matte. I just wanted to show you guys how it looks in natural sunlight. So I will check back in. So I'll check back in with y'all when I get back home. You see the time. It's been exactly 5 hours and my face looks like this. Let me get closer. After exactly 5 hours, this is not bad. For me, I'm extremely oily. I was running errands. It was really hot today too. I also came home after I went to the mall and I was cleaning up, so I am also kind of hot right now. And I'm also under these bright studio lights, so I mean, of course, but still, this isn't bad. After 5 hours, it's not separating at all. It's not separating at all. It's just settling into my fine lines just a little tiny bit. So I actually went to the mall to get the blotting strips, the Fenty Beauty blotting strip. I wanted to test these out just for the video. So it comes in the little Fenty Beauty like blotting strip dispenser thing, and then here goes your blotting papers. I heard that these also double as rolling papers, which I wouldn't be surprised because, you know, it's Riri. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but if you open the top part of it and then you just pull however much of the blotting strip out that you want, and then you close it, then you pull it downwards to tear it. Okay, that's, you know, I like it because it is portable. It's really small. You don't have that big wide, you know, you don't have something like this if you're going out. This is a lot more travel friendly. All right, so let me go ahead and blot. So here's one full blotting strip. Barely any foundation came off. I could say only a tiny bit of foundation came off of this whole blotting strip. Here's my face after 2 complete blotting strips were used. This foundation is matte. It only settled a teeny tiny bit into my fine lines. Could it have held up better throughout these past 5 hours? Sure. Is it my holy grail high-end matte foundation? No, sorry, it's not. I really like it, but my holy grail matte foundation at the moment that I've tried on my channel is still the Revlon Colorstay. Alright, that could change. That's only as of September 14th. Revlon Colorstay is still the champ matte foundation on my channel so far. But this foundation is a close second, because for all the things that I did do today that I have been I have been out and about with this foundation, and the fact that it only settled into my fine lines a tiny bit, for how I looked when I came back, it still wasn't bad. It's not bad compared to a lot of the other foundations I've reviewed. So as far as the claims on Sephora, is it medium coverage? Yep. Is it for oily skin? Yep. It's a matte finish. As far as medium to full coverage, I mean, I guess if you want to cake layers and layers and layers of foundation on your face, I'm not with that, so I wouldn't consider this buildable for me personally. It says the oil-free formula is made with climate adaptive technology that's resistant to sweat and humidity and won't clog pores, so that wherever you are, it's going to work on your skin. It's long wearing, light as air, and undetectable on skin, so that you always look like you. That I will attest to. Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Long Wear Foundation did live up to its name. Damn, that's a long ass name. But it did live up to all of its claims, and I am happy about it. As of right now, with all the foundations that I have, I would say it's my second favorite matte foundation. So I give it a thumbs up. Rihanna came the fuck through. She came the fuck through. I really hope to see more of this collection. I want to see some palettes. I want to see some crazy ass lipsticks. I also can't wait to see what she has coming out for holiday. I hope that she releases something by Black Friday, because I'm already making my holiday shopping list for Black Friday. I'm just ready for everything else from Fenty Beauty. I have been really happy with what I've seen so far. So thank you for joining me for another Foundation Friday. I also have a playlist linked in the cards with my other videos using Fenty Beauty products. I also have a tutorial coming with some type of like dark fall look featuring Fenty products. So go ahead and check that out in the cards. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next Friday.